Welcome to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
Hello, it's the Pipeman, and here we are on the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. And I am here with one of my favorite guests because she's one of our favorite show hosts. And she's like my resident health and wellness show expert. And she comes on in my show quite often because I really believe in what she's doing. And I believe that she is truly helping people and setting an example too, because she walks the talk. So let's welcome to the show, Sarah Banta. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dean?
I'm doing great down here in Costa Rica. And, so I find one of the things we might want to talk about a little bit is about how people eat differently, have to eat differently in different countries, depending on where they're from. It's even if you were from Costa Rica and you went to the United States, you would have to do things differently. And we were talking before the show, and this might be the cliffhanger for the show, but about how hard it is to get spinach here in Costa Rica at the grocery store. And you think that's a good thing, but we won't find out why till later in the show. So Take it away, Sarah.
Yeah, different countries have different food supplies, but in all, spinach is not one of my favorite foods. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But I wanted to talk about how to fix a slow metabolism, because after the pandemic, I feel like everyone is experiencing this unexplained weight gain, and everyone thinks, oh, it's just because you're aging, and everyone gains the extra 2 to 5 pounds every year, and that's what happens. It's hormonal. Well, yes, it is hormonal, but not because of what you think. So the number one cause of yo-yo dieting, and then we're going to get to the spinach later, so keep listening, is that yo-yo dieting, which is where you restrict calories, and then you are so hungry and so miserable that you then binge and you go off the rails, and then you try to do it again, and you go up and down and up and down. And when it comes to that, your body doesn't trust you. You have to realize that your body is smart. It is going to survive. Regardless of what you look like, what your hair looks like, what your skin looks like, it wants to survive. And when it comes to fat and body weight, it has a set point. This set point comes from the body's perception of what it needs for stored energy. For example, if your set point is 120 pounds, you eat more calories, your body will increase your metabolism to burn off those extra calories to stay at 120 pounds. And on the other hand, if you lower the intake of calories, it will lower your metabolism to keep you at that set point. So when you continue doing this up and down, this is the yo-yo dieting. It makes your body not trust you. And it teaches the body that there isn't enough food, and it will inherently slow down the metabolism. Think about The Biggest Loser. All of those people lost a ton of weight. But if you look at them now, they've all gained their weight back, and maybe then some. Because then you also have the caloric restriction. And you asked me before about calorie counting. Well, number one, not every calorie is a calorie. All calories are different. But when you restrict calories, your body says, oh, I'm only getting 1,000 calories in. I'm going to slow down my metabolism to make that 1,000 calories better. Your body goes into that survival or starvation mode. And if your body's seeking that glucose or carbs for energy, then it's limited because your body only has a certain amount of storage for glucose. You've got thousands of places to put fat, right? We can put as much fat on our body, but we only have a certain amount of glucose that we can store. And if we take in too much glucose, it will then turn into fat and will go into our fat cells. And that's going to, when we restrict the glucose, we are going to lower our metabolism because our body doesn't trust us. So with that, and then you add in the high carb diet, because carbs actually steal energy from the cells. Your cellular energy is called ATP. And when you eat carbs or the standard American diet, the processed foods, which most people have about 70% of their diet comes from processed food, which is so sad because you probably don't even realize that it's not real food. That food is actually stealing ATP from your body, stealing energy from your body. So if it's taking away energy from your body, then what is your brain saying? It's saying, oh my God, I need to eat more because I need more energy. So you're eating this, pizza and Coke or McDonald's meal, and then an hour later, you're hungry and you're low energy and you're craving more sugar because your body is seeking that energy. Well, what it's doing is it's stealing that ATP, it's lowering your metabolism, and then it's storing fat because those foods have a propensity to increase insulin. And remember, insulin is a fat storing hormone. So it is all about hormones. It's not about the calories, because when you eat protein, like wild animal protein, a bison ribeye steak, 25% of those calories are used up to digest and burn up that steak. So 25% of it, you don't even have to count them. And it lowers insulin. So you're actually going to increase your fat burn when you're eating wild animal protein. You're increasing your insulin when you're eating the standard American diet, the high carbs, the processed foods. So calorie is not a calorie. Now, then you've got the sedentary lifestyle, right? During the lockdown, all of us got locked in. We stopped walking. We stopped working out, going to the gym. We got on our phones. We've become more sedentary. You're not gonna burn any fat sitting on the couch, right? You gotta move. You gotta increase the blood flow, the lymphatic drainage, walking, weightlifting, all of that increases fat burning mechanisms. However, over-exercising can slow down your metabolism. I know women in their 40s and 50s trying to lose weight. They're running 8 miles and then going to the gym, and they can't figure it out. Well, they're increasing their stress on their body, increasing cortisol. Cortisol is a fat storing hormone. Cortisol is the dirty cupcake. Why? Because you are storing fat without even enjoying the cupcake, right? So it's increasing your fat storages just through stress, because when you're stressed and you're being chased by a tiger, or we don't know when the famine's coming, we need to store fat around our organs, around our belly, to protect our organs. That is survival. Remember, our bodies are smart. So you want to do more of a HIIT training, where it's high intensity training 1 to 3 times a week, strength training, maybe a little cardio, but not over cardio. Hormones, lowering testosterone, lowering human growth hormone, and increasing estrogen will all lower your metabolism and increase fat on the body. So that's another issue. Thyroid issues. Most people are walking around with with hypothyroid symptoms, especially from the pandemic, and then also, Dean, from that spinach. So this is what's interesting. Your thyroid is everything. And with that, one of the things that affects your thyroid are oxalates. Oxalates are plant poisons. So you have to think about plants. Remember, we as humans, we're all into survival. These plants are into survival as well. Well, oxalates are found in plants like spinach and kale, almonds, most nuts, Swiss chard, and I have a whole list on my website. These oxalates are like little toothpicks or razor glass, and they go into the body and they get attracted to our joints, our kidneys. They cause kidney stones and gout but they also cause hypothyroidism. They love the thyroid, so it slows down your metabolism. So if you're juicing spinach or kale or these great healthy poisonous vegetables, you are getting concentrated amounts of oxalates in your body, cause brain fog and so many other issues. But then the other things that cause thyroid issues are the GMOs, the heavy metals, radiation. All of that clogs the thyroid. And the thyroid needs iodine for that T4 and T3, the thyroid hormones. Well, most people, 96% of people, are iodine deficient. Well, iodine is also very important for increasing ATP. ATP is that cellular energy that increases metabolism. So when you supplement with the iodine, and of course we've talked about this before, that the accelerating iodine is the only iodine that feeds all 100 trillion cells in the body, that will boost your ATP by 18 times. So just imagine what that does to your metabolism. So real quick, I want to stop, Dean. Are we going to stop eating spinach?
It doesn't sound very good to me.
It is the most loaded food on the planet of oxalates. So after this, and I will send you my article all about oxalates, almonds and spinach. If everyone listening takes one thing away from today, stop eating spinach and almonds.
Well, the almonds, it's funny because I've been told the almonds quite a few times, and even for another reason, because basically they've made almonds such a big thing in the United States that now it's all GMO almonds, and that's the worst.
Right. And then you have all of these people on low carb ketogenic diets doing almond flour and baking with it. And so it's concentrated. So you really have to think through what you're putting in your body with these healthy poisonous foods. We didn't talk about the sulfur vegetables, which also can disrupt your liver detox pathways, which can affect your metabolism. And those sulfur foods are all the healthy foods: the broccoli, the cauliflower, cabbage, onions, garlic, egg yolks. So that's another little teaser that maybe we should go into next time or another time, because some of these healthy foods are actually poisonous to our bodies. But another thing that's affecting our metabolism, and this is new in the last 3 years, is the spike protein from COVID. It affects the ACE2 receptor in the liver, and it's causing insulin regulation issues, hormonal issues, inflammation, and slowing down the metabolism. So the good news, how to fix your metabolism, we have put together my Ascent Diet Cleanse. I do this cleanse with a group every month, starting the first Monday of every month. And what we've done is these supplements together are designed to boost that ATP, lower your cravings for sugar, processed foods, and carbs, and make you focus on the healthier, low carb, wild animal protein type diet, but you're able to intermittent fast, which actually increases your metabolism even more. And you're going to flush out liver and gallstones out of the body by the end of the month. And
I have a question about the intermittent fasting, and I'm asking because I think some of the listeners are probably thinking this right now, is what's the difference between yo-yo dieting and intermittent fasting? Because some people are probably thinking, isn't that the same thing?
I'm so glad you brought this up. Okay, so when you are yo-yo dieting and you're not on a low carb diet and you're just eating 6 small meals a day, your body is constantly dependent on glucose, okay? It doesn't know that it's got thousands of calories of fat on its body to burn. It doesn't know how to unlock those cells of fat to burn them. So when you burn the 100-calorie snack pack that you just ate, your body's going to scream at you, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Feed me more glucose, feed me more carbs. And so you're constantly on this roller coaster. And your body doesn't know that it's got thousands of calories to burn on its body. When you incorporate the supplements in the Ascent Diet Cleanse, the accelerated keto especially, this flips you into ketosis. Ketosis means that your body is burning fat. So now all of a sudden, your body says, oh my God, I've got thousands of calories to burn on my body. I don't need to eat. I'm going to lower my insulin level. I'm going to increase my metabolism because I've got so much fuel. I'm never going to run out. And so then you intermittent fast. So your body, when it's intermittent fasting, it is tapping into your fat stores. So it's snacking all day long. It's snacking. So it's eating you. So it is not starving. It's not in a stressful state. It's not in that survival mode. It's relaxed.
So basically, your body is now grazing instead of you grazing.
Exactly. So with the tools of the accelerated keto, increasing ATP by 5 to 10 times, the accelerated iodine working on your thyroid, detoxing your body of all the toxins that are slowing down your metabolism and increasing your thyroid function, increasing your ATP by 18 times. So remember that ATP is your mitochondrial health. It is your energy. When that goes up, your metabolism goes up. So anything that increases ATP is a good thing. So the accelerated keto, the accelerated iodine, and the accelerated thyroid, which is a supplement that feeds the thyroid what it needs. It helps detox the thyroid of all the toxins that are causing issues, and it will increase that metabolism. Then we put you through a nice, easy liver flush to flush all those stones out, because your liver is where everything happens. It's where protein and fat metabolism happens. So it's very important to take care of your liver. And I go through all of this through my group coaching on Telegram that's free for everybody. And you don't have to live with a slow metabolism.
And I gotta say something. You mentioned protein a couple times. I think on another episode, we definitely need to talk about protein, because I think people are misusing protein and not realizing that sometimes when they think they're doing good, they're doing bad. A perfect example of that is diabetics generally drink this glucerna protein drink, and it's supposed to stop sugar spikes, but because of the protein, it actually causes sugar spikes, and people don't realize. And that goes back to what you were saying about what we think is healthy. Like before even all these new health food stuff, I remember being younger and V8 juice was considered healthy, and it's like one of the most unhealthy things. But people don't realize that. I also look at things as like Beyond Burgers. And what goes through my head when I think of Beyond Burgers is, how much processing and chemicals and garbage do they have to do to make it look, taste, and feel like meat?
Yep, you got it. Yeah, protein is a big topic, and that's why I talk about wild animal protein: bison, elk, grass-fed, grass-finished beef, deer, lamb, wild fish. Stay away from the chicken, stay away from the pork, and maybe that's the cliffhanger for the next one.
There it is. I love it. Let's tell everybody all your contact information, how they can connect you on socials, the coaching calls on Telegram, your show, all that good stuff.
My website is sarabantahealth.com. You can find the group coaching there. It's free for everybody. I post on a daily basis and answer your questions. It's an amazing forum for everyone to support each other. My podcast is Accelerated Health TV and Radio Show on every podcast outlet that you can find. And what else, Dean? On social, I'm Accelerated Health Products. I'm pretty easy to find. So reach out to me if you have any questions about your health. I'm happy to answer them.
Well, you definitely rock, and always great advice. And I look forward to more. And everybody's got to definitely stay tuned. Why? Because another episode, we're going to talk about all these cliffhangers that we talked about. And on another episode, we're going to give people the information they need to be healthy. And that's what you're all about. And that's why I have you on my show, because I'm very particular about people that talk about health and wellness on my show because I have my own viewpoints, and I'm not going to bring somebody on that is going to give advice, but it doesn't help people. You talked about other things too, and I think of years ago when Atkins was the big craze, and I know people that were on Atkins lost a lot of weight. The minute they got off of it, they got bigger than they ever were before. So, I think they need to talk to people like you that are experts because you've lived it, you've experienced it, and you've done major amounts of scientific testing. So thank you, Sarah, for being here on the Adventures of Pipeman and helping all our listeners.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.